Okay, so the first thing you want to do is create a new folder. I'm going to call it tutorial, and this is going to be your main folder. You're going to put your sprites in there, you're going to put any sound effects, and you're going to put the main game file. Yeah, I need one more sprite. So anyway, we're going to create a new file. We're going to call it Space Game. I'm going to set it to, let's say, 700 by 600. Create. There we go. We have this nice little playing area. We can edit this in the code anyway. I'm going to rename the layout. Go over here to Project. Right click Layout 1. Rename. I'm going to call this Game. I'm also going to do that to the same for event sheet. I'm going to call it Game. And I'm also going to right click on where it says on the event sheet folder. I'm going to say add an event, and I'm going to call it main. I do this all the time. This is going to be our main coding area, so if I want to add another level or another room, I just have to insert it into the game. So let's do that now, actually. Go to your game events. Yeah. Or you can I'm going to make it a little easier and call it game events sheet. And there we go. I put an event sheet so that way I'm not looking at two tabs that say game. But anyway, here's your main play area. This is your game event sheet. And this is our main event sheet. I'm going to go into the game event sheet, right click, and include main event. And include event sheet, click main event, and hit OK. This will now, anything that happens in here will now go for this level. Anyway, let's get started. So, first thing we want to do is insert, go to tile, click tile, click this folder icon, and go find your background sprite. It can be anything. I will leave links to in the description on where I got every sprite and every piece of work. You can make your own sprites, but I'm going to choose to use someone else's sprites that are pre-made. So go in the background, I'm going to choose a purple. I'm going to choose that one. There we go, and stretch it out to the entire screen. Alright. We're going to add a new object. I'm going to search for sprite, click it. I'm going to call it player, hit insert. We are going to choose a sprite. No. Alright, let's choose, oh man, there's so many ships to choose from, and UFOs and all that. I'm gonna go with this one. I love this one. Click the crop button, and we are going to rotate it this way. You'll see why in a minute, because if we kept it like this and we added the behavior that we're going to add, it will change kind of wrong. So we click on origin point and right click, add new image, and put that at the front. This is where your bullets are going to spawn. So save, there we go. Now if you press play, we have nothing. It's not going to move or anything. So we need to add a behavior, so click your object, add behavior. We're going to add 2, bound to layout. And we are also going to add the 8 directions behavior. Now, you have, see how easy that was, and we didn't even have to write a line of code. Bound to layout, it can't leave the layout. I'm going to change the speed. You can change all the settings here. You got default controls, enable, 8 direction, you got smooth, you got 90-degree intervals and all that, acceleration, deceleration, 8 directions. Let's say 300. Let's see how that goes. Oh man, that's a lot better. Okay, so we are also going to insert a new object. I'm going to call this bullet. No, wait. I'm going to search for sprite. Call it bullet. Insert. And let's find lasers. Here's one. There we go. Again, I'm going to rotate it. And we're going to put it up here. It can be any size. Now when you're doing this, you're practically setting the size for when we spawn it in for whenever the player shoots. So we're going to add 2 behaviors. We're going to add the destroy outside of layout. We are also going to add the bullet behavior. Go to your main event, right click, add a group. Always add a group. This makes it, and name it. Always I like adding event groups because it keeps it all organized, so that way you're not running through lines of code like, where the hell am I? So, we gotta do one more thing. Right click, insert new object, keyboard. This will, so, yeah. In your main event sheet, create a new group, and when click on keyboard, when key is down, we're going to say space. We're going to spawn, click on the player, spawn another object, and we're going to choose image point 1, choose the object, we're going to say bullet. So now we have, but there's a problem. We don't want it to spam like this because no. So right here we're going to click system and search for trigger once while true. There's one thing I want to tweak. I want the Z order. Let's see if this has anything for Z order. Let's see if I can do this. Set elevation to 0. gonna get. This is my first time. This is a little bit of an experiment. Don't follow this unless it works. Okay, yeah, that didn't work. I was trying to get it to spawn behind the player, but I guess it's okay this way. So you now have a player that shoots. I'm gonna also go to our game and change the bullet speed to 450. Okay. And that makes it shoot a little faster. Okay, so we need something for our enemy to shoot. So we're going to insert a new object, type in sprite. Look for we're going to look for okay, bonus, no. What I want is the meteor. So we're gonna choose a meteor. We're going to, no, nah, we're just gonna, so we're just gonna keep this and color it in. That the player's not gonna see this. We're also going to rename this enemy spawn. Okay. And we're gonna put it right here. One thing we're going to do is save it. So I'm gonna call it Space Game and download a copy so I have it so I can work on it whenever I need to. So we are also going to add a behavior to the spawn. We're going to add what was I going to? Oh, we're going to add the timer. And in the main game area, game event sheet, this is where I keep control of all the variables. So add a global variable, right click, go down to add a global variable. We're going to call this enemy spawn. We're going to keep it to numbers, set it to 0, hit OK. We're going to add an event in this event sheet. We're going to go system, look for on start of layout. We are going to set the enemy spawn to 0. Hit done. So that way when the game starts and loads, it's going to be forever 0. So, okay, so let's add the enemy spawn. So add new group. Enemy spawn. Add a new event. No, we're not going to add a new event. We're going to right click on the main game editing area. Go type in sprite right there. We're going to call this enemy. Choose an enemy. We can have meteorites, but I'm going to choose the enemies. We're also going to rotate it like we did with the main spaceship, and there we go. Put it up here, add a behavior. We're going to add destroy outside of layout, and we're going to add move to. go to your main event, and we're going to start programming it. So enemy spawn, we're going to say to click on the enemy spawn, and no, wait. On timer, we're going to call it, no, wait, we're not going to. If I can remember how to do this. Let's see what this does. So every tick, we're going to start the timer. We're going to set to 3 seconds, regular, and we're going to call this E-spawn 1, just in case you want to add more enemies. Hit done. I think this is how you do it. Okay, so we want to say go to enemy spawn, on timer, E-spawn, make sure it matches this up here. We want this to spawn another object. Enemy. Done. That didn't. Let's see. We already got a problem solved. So let's see what happens when we do that. Okay, it's working. With every tick, go to system, click on every tick. Click on your enemy, and we want it to move towards an object. We're going to say player dot X and player dot Y. Hit done. And it's moving towards the player. Okay, we're going to go to game, click our enemy, and add two behavior solid and custom. Okay, so go back to enemy spawn. We're going to say when enemy is in collision, is overlapping another object, we're going to say enemy. We're going to find the custom, and we're going to say push out solid, opposite angle. So that way, they're not overlapping. Okay, now you're going to probably wonder what the variable is. I mean, what about the variable? So, on enemy spawn timer right here, we want to add to that variable. Done. And then we're going to go here, go to system. We're going to add a new event to enemy spawn. Go to system. Go to compare value. Equal or greater, when the variable equals to, we can set this any number. I'm going to set it to 3 since our play area is kind of small. So, spawn, we want to click on enemy spawn. We want to pause the timer. And you have to type in E-spawn 1. So let's test it out. Always test so that way you can check for bugs. Okay. Oh, it's still spawning enemies. Let me see if I Oh, I misspelled Espawn. Done. I thought I gave this a bound to layout. Why is it going out of the layout if I go down? Oh. Hang on, after we test this. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we are going to insert a new object. We're going to call this wall. No, wait. We're going to search for sprite. Call this wall. Hit insert. This can be any color. The player's not going to see it. Put it down here so it's out of view. Put it right here. We are going to double click it. Go to behaviors, add behavior, call it solid. Put it on the sides of your game. If you're not. Alright. So here we go. And now our player won't leave. 1, 2, 3. Okay, for some reason. We're going to say instead is in collision. Let's see what that does, because they start to overlap. Part of game design is testing and bug fixing, so 1, 2, there we go. Oh, they're still overlapping. Let's see what this says. Don't try this unless well, you can follow along. Okay, that didn't work at all. We're gonna keep this with overlapping. I'm gonna set the variable to 2. Value 2. We're also going to say when the go to system compare values, we're going to say enemy spawn is less or equal to 0. We're going to resume the timer. So copy this, paste it here. We're going to resume it, and there you go. We have enemies spawning in. I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to double click the enemy and check one thing. Oh, that's why they were starting to overlap. No. I'm gonna put this there, there, there. want to have to do this, because that'll fix some of it. I'm also going to scale it down a little bit. And for this, we're going to scale it down, and we are going to hide. So scroll down in your properties, click it, and hit initial invisibility and uncheck that. So let's check it. Now it looks like they're coming out of nowhere, which is good. Alright, now there's something else I want to add. Insert new object. We're going to call this player. No, look for sprite. We're going to call this player spawn. We're going to set it here, scale it down a bit, and right click, align, viewpoint, center it. Okay, and put this right here. Alright, so we're going to add a new group. We're going to call this player death. Hit OK. When player is in collision with enemy, we want to set the position. Go down, size and position, set position to player spawn.x and player spawn.y. Hit enter and done. So this way, you go to the middle. But there's one problem: the enemies don't do anything. They'll just keep hitting you and hurting you. So we're going to add another one, and we're going to set the position. Go down size and position. We're going to call this, we're going to set it to its spawn point. Enemy spawn dot x. Enemy spawn dot y. There are many ways you can solve this issue. This is the one I'm using. So that way it looks like it's resetting. The best thing I like about Construct 3 is one thing you can do in GDevelop is you can add another spawn point. And more enemies will spawn in. For some reason though, it's not counting right. It's supposed to spawn in 2. 1. Oh, there we go. They're just overlapping for some reason. But for the sake of this, it just seems like too much to handle, so I'm gonna put that there. Let me see one more time. We're gonna move it down. The angle doesn't seem to work. Alright, so we have enemies. Let's add enemy death. So add a new group. We're gonna call this enemy death. We're going to say when bullet is in collision with enemy, we're going to destroy the bullet, destroy the enemy, we are going to subtract from the enemy spawn. So that way, let's wait for them both to spawn in. There's one, there's two, and the timer restarts. I'm going to add one more spawn point. Like I said though, be careful. So put that there. Press play. Okay, for some reason. Okay. There we go. This is becoming a game. I'm gonna do one more thing. I am going to change this. They're moving kind of fast for me, so I'm gonna change their max speed to 150. Hit OK. This makes them move a little bit slower. I think we fixed our overlapping problem. There we go. I'm also going to do one more thing. I'm going to set the bullet thing. I'm going to say compare distance. I'm going to say equal to, let's say 50. We want to destroy the bullet. Copy, paste, so that way it's not going to Kingdom Come. Okay, 50 might be a little too far, so I'm going to say 20. Greater or equal to, let's see if that changes anything. Always play test. Okay, that's not good. Let's set back to 50. Still not. Let's set it to 100. Okay, we need it to go a little farther, so let's say 300. So what we're doing is we're setting a distance for the bullet to travel. If it's going farther than that, we want it to destroy itself. That way you're not... There, it looks a lot nicer. This game is slowly coming together. You can expand the play area, which is something I'm actually going to do. So we are going to also show you something else. Go spread this out, spread out the background. Put the spawn down here. We're gonna add one more spawn. To this bottom corner. Now we're going to insert a new object. We're going to call it sprite. And we're going to find sprite. We're going to call this camera. click anywhere, and it doesn't need any image. We're going to set it on our player. No, we're going to set it right here actually. We're going to select all that, align, layout, center the layout. There we go. Looks a little better. Let's find that camera. Okay. That camera. So we're going to choose a new group. We're going to call it camera. We're going to select our camera and add new behavior. We're going to bound it to layout. This one. Alright. This takes away the wall. Anyway, we're also going to add scroll to. So go to our main event sheet, go to camera, add an event. With every tick, go to system, click on every tick. We're going to select our camera. We're going to set the position and say lerp parentheses self dot x comma player dot x comma 0.05 parentheses, select it, copy it. No, we don't want that. Lerp self x. We're gonna copy it, paste it here, get rid of that 0. We're gonna replace all the X's with Y. Hit done, and now we have a camera that will scroll with the player. And there are the enemies. They'll respawn once it's set to 2 per spawn point. Yeah. Instead of setting the player position, I'm going to go back to system and select restart layout. So that way the game restarts. Okay, there we go. We got a pretty good game. Let's go back to the game. We're going to do one more thing, which is insert new object. We're gonna call this coin spawn. No, we're gonna search for sprite. We're gonna call it coin spawn. We're not gonna color it. I'm gonna put it all over the game field. I'm gonna edit it, and we're going to go to image point, and we're going to add a new image points. Just randomly place them. As many as you like. There we go. We're going to insert a new object. We're going to search for sprite, and we're going to call this coin. How long have I been recording? Holy shoot. We're going to call this coin. You can use anything for this. I'm going to look for power up. Is there coin? No, there's no coin. Let's use a lightning bolt. Crop it, hit OK, and exit it out. Put it up with RS to organize this. Add a behavior. We're gonna add destroy outside of background. Destroy outside of layout. Now go to our main events. New group. Coin. Add a new event. And on the start of layout, we want to select our coin spawn, and we want to spawn another object. We're going to say coin, done. 1 second. We need to double click our thing and take a place. We have 9 image points. Wow. And take note of this too, because this counts as 1, so 0 to 9. We're going to choose image points. We're going to say choose 0 and just less than 1. Be sure there's a comma in between numbers and a space. And close it and hit done. So on the start of layout, you want to look for it. There it randomly spawned. Okay, so I'm going to make it a little bigger though. There we go. So we're going to say when the player is in collision with the coin, we're going to destroy the coin. And we're going to copy the top command and paste it in. Hit play. So we gotta look for the coin. There's the coin. And it will spawn anywhere on those image points on that square. This is a lot easier than setting it to random and having to do all that math. We're going to go to the main game event sheet and add a new variable. We're going to call this score. hit OK. We're going to set the score to 0. Hit done. Go to our main event sheet. When the player is in collision with the coin, we want to add 1 to score. We also want to do the same thing whenever the bullet is in collision with the enemy, so copy and paste that there. There's one more thing I want to add, which is we want to insert new object. We're going to call this explosion. It's going to be a sprite. We're going to call it explosion. Alright. And search for something. FX. No. Not that. Is there an explosion? We're going to use this star. I'm going to set the size. I'm also going to add a behavior. I'm going to add the destroy outside of layout. And I'm going to add the fade one. We're going to go down to fade and set fade into 1. Make sure fade out is set to 1. Go to our main event, and we're right where our bullet is in collision with the enemy. We want to spawn in the explosion where the enemy was. So click on the enemy, type in spawn, another object. We are going to spawn in the explosion. So let's test it out. Okay, I didn't get that. I didn't get that either. And damn. There we go. See, it spawned in. Alright, now there's one other thing we want to display score. So insert new object. I'm going to call it score. No, we're going to look for text this time. Call it score. We are going to color it that color. We're going to scroll down and find fonts. Import font. You can find any font you want. I'm going to choose Future, hit Import, and we're going to change the font to this font. Hit OK. Just put it right here. We want to find the late. We want to click on Menu, go to Settings. No, not Settings. We're going to go to View, Bars, and we're going to click on Layers. Right click, add a top layer. We're going to call it UI. Okay. Okay, I'm going to keep that there. we're going to set the 50/50 to 0, 0. So that way it scrolls. We're going to set this to UI. And right now, and there we go. We have, wait a second. Did I do the wrong thing? Let's try parallax 0, 0. Press play. Okay, there we go. The text is following. We can change the size of the text to any size we want. Okay, for some reason I can't select the text. Alright, so what we're going to do is select this the text here. Alright, for some reason it's not letting me select. Oh. Unlock. There we go. We want to change the size a little bit. There we go. For this game, I'm going to get rid of one spawn point. Anyway, we have that, but there's one problem. It's not working, so we're going to add a new group. We're going to call this score text. This can be in your main event. If you're using this in multiple levels. We're going to add a new event. We're going to say with every tick. We're going to set text. Click on score and click on set text and go type in quotation mark score colon space quotation mark space and score and select your variable. Hit done. So now we have a working functional game. You can tweak this however you want, but we learned spawn, we learned about enemy spawn, we learned about timers, we learned about counters, we learned about variables. I'm going to choose one more thing. Instead of free start layer, I want to set the enemy location. I want to set that spawn thing back. Set position. And there we go. But there's one more thing there's another thing I want to do. I'm going to go to layouts, add a new layout, add an event sheet. I'm going to call this lose. I'm going to rename the event sheet lose event sheet. Okay. I'm gonna insert the background. right there. I'm going to add a new text. I'm going to add new object, type in text. I'm going to call it lose text. I'm going to go to our main game, select our text, and I'm going to copy this stuff here next to our color, so that way hit enter, so that way it's the same color. I'm going to center it. Let's change the font to our font. Text I want to read. You lose. I'm going to center it with the viewpoint. There we go. I want the text to be a little bigger. There you go. For the main game, we're going to go to the game event, add a new global variable. We're going to call this lives, and we're going to set it to 3, or it can be anything you want. Go to main event, enemy. We're going to go to player death, and we're going to subtract from lives. Hit done. We're going to go back to our game event sheet, and we're going to have it so when the layout starts, we're going to set the value of lives to 3. Done. Go here, and then we want to say add an event to enemy death, so we want to go to system, compare value lives is equal or less than 3. We want it to go to system and then go to layout. We want it to go to lose. So let's play it. It started right there. Game. Try to get a height. What the? Oh, we did something wrong. So when lives is equal or less than 3. No, we want it 0, so that way it doesn't keep restarting on us. So let's play our game. Okay, we're going to also clone our our score. We're going to right click it, clone, rename it lives. Bring it out here underneath it. There we go. We're going to go to our main event sheet. We're going to in the score text with every tick, and then find lives, set text. We're going to say lives, and lives. Hit done, and there we have it. Oh, it started on you lose. Yeah, that's embarrassing. And it's counting down. And we lose. You can play this again and again, try to beat your high score. The reason I added the coin was to keep the player moving. There we go. You can tweak this however you want. I am going to move the player. I'm going to make the player faster by setting it to 350. There we go. And we have a complete functional game. You're probably wondering one other thing, how do you add sound? So, insert new object, type in, search for audio, double click that. We are going to generate some sounds. There are several ways of doing this. You can go to Freesound and download some sounds. You can go to, Freesound. You can go to JSFXR or search for one like I did and download one. Alright, this is in. Yes, I know. So we're going to do coin pickup. We're going to export to Wave. We're going to choose our folder, our game folder. We're going to choose a hitbox. That one's good. We're going to choose a laser. I don't like that one. There we go. I like that one. And we're going to choose an explosion. And now that we have our sound effects, what the hell? Yeah, it's probably exceeding. So anyway, scroll down to sounds, import audio, go find our file, import all our sound. Import, okay. Now, for the player bullet, we're going to play sound. So go to click on audio, play sound. We're going to choose laser, not looping, -10. Hit done. So now whenever we press space, yeah, you always gotta make sure it's on the main one. I'm also going to do one more thing. I'm going to change the speed of the laser to about 500. No, wait, let's choose 550. Done. Now let's go back to adding our sounds. Now we want to add a player death. We're going to add an explosion sound. So play. No, we're going to add the hurt. Again, -10. For some reason, to turn up the volume, you gotta go negative. or at least turn it down. So we have our player death, enemy death. We want to play a sound, play audio of an explosion. For the coin, we want to play a sound. So we added a bunch of sound. Let's see how our game plays out now. Okay. One more thing we want to add. Let me see. What else do we want to add? There's one more thing I want to add. I can't remember what it was though. But we have a pretty good game. You can do anything with this game. You can add a restart button, which I will show you to do now. Go to your lose state. We're going to insert a new object. I'm going to search for sprite. I'm going to call this replay button. They don't like spaces, so yeah. You can color this. I'm going to stick with the theme. So, right here, I'm going to put it there. I'm also going to duplicate the lose text and place it here. I want to lower the size to fit the screen. To fit the button. There we go. I'm going to go to the lose event sheet. I'm going to add, and I'm going to go to the main game and insert a new object. I'm going to say mouse. Okay. The lose main event sheet, we're going to add an event. On object clicked left, we're going to say replay button. We want to change the layout. Go to system, go to layout, done. And let's see. Okay. 1 life gone. 2. And there we have it. Our game is getting better. You can do the same thing for you. Yeah, with a little practice I can get good at this, but yeah, that's our game. Thanks for playing.